Is a 50-year staffing
We are at a 50-year
IOU.
staffing low.
Low, okay. The total savings of
There is one of me for every 1,600 of you. I can only get to 45 of you in
Those
one
are the
day.
facts, Mark.
and people, why are you allowing someone with no security clearance? I didn't see. Are you talking about Elon Musk? Elon Musk does have a security clearance. Yes, he does. There are different levels of security clearances, and Elon Musk does have, whether you like it or not, Elon Musk does have a security clearance. And so, that is that. I appreciate your work at the IRS. This is kind of a repeat question. Karen says, why is an unelected person allowed to hire, fire government employees? I'll take one of these. Where's Karen that asked this question? Karen? Thank you, Karen. Karen says, why is an unelected person allowed to hire, fire government employees? I'm going to take these one at a time. The reason is that he was hired. Let me go over and have Ida contact me. Elon Musk was hired by the executive Donald Trump, and he has given him that authority. Just as in past administration, presidents have given authority to other people to hire and fire. And so that's true. How will you guarantee the Congress budget includes enough money for Medicare? That's a very good question. Medicare, as I said before, Medicare and Social Security takes up about 75% of our budget.
No, it
And we are going to have to take a look at the waste, abuse, and fraud here. Medicare Advantage, how many of you are on Medicare Advantage right now? Okay, Medicare Advantage has some issues with it. We've got to figure that out. That all goes through the Ways and Means Committee. Jason Smith, who is the chairman of Ways and Means, he is working on this to make sure that we have the money necessary in the Medicare program. I think Medicaid right now is the issue, is that we have to find the savings through the waste, abuse, and fraud, and then make sure that if you're an able-bodied adult and you're not, you don't have any dependents, that you're not on that system. And how will you protect the IRS farmers' jobs? Those are two different, the IRS and the farmers. I don't know if every job is going to be protected. I think you're seeing layoffs, and I saw some reports that there's 1,000 IRS. I've seen others that's 100. We have a few statistics for you right here. There are 3 million federal workers in America. And of the workers that Biden hired over the last 4 years, 85% of them have been government workers. $271 billion is the federal payroll right now. The average salary for a federal worker is $106,000. So any time that you have a new business or new owner's coming, in this case a new president, they have every right to make the cuts necessary. Especially at a time when our country, is really going over the deep end. We have $36.5 trillion worth of debt, and we're gaining $1.5 trillion worth of debt every year. That is unsustainable as a nation. Okay. Oh, here's a good one from Sue Trebue. Trebue. Is that you? All right. Have we talked before? Have you been in here? No? Just a second. I got to take another sip of coffee. All right. Here we go. Sue Trebue has some general things about Medicaid and Cash Patel. So Medicaid, we've gone over the Medicaid. Well, you're supposed to write your question down. Did you not tell them?
You didn't answer
Okay.
the question I wrote.
What's your...
My question is, we do not, is you can support not. And
What's the question?
I will be... Oh, let's answer that one first, and I'll come back to you, okay? I promise. Her question was, will I support not cutting Medicaid?
Or Medicare.
No, she said Medicaid. So I'm going to go with Medicaid first. We should not make cuts to Medicaid. But we need to find a waste, abuse, and fraud, and have work requirements that if you're an able-bodied adult with no dependents, you shouldn't be on the system. That is not a cut. And yes, there are. We have proof of that. Your other question was about cash patel.
Program, but they still qualify.
You're on record of supporting cash patel.
Yes.
Extremists have
Uh-huh.
you seen the meeting that he shared of him cutting off the head of his so-called political enemies?
No, I haven't.
Do you support?
No, I do support Cash Patel, and here's why. Now, we have a beautiful FBI office up here by the airport, and I hope to tour that in a couple of weeks. I support law enforcement. My dad is a Special Texas Ranger. There are so many good people in the FBI right now, and in the DOJ. But for far too long, under President Obama and President Biden, there has been a two-tier system of justice in America. There has been a weaponization of the judicial system and the FBI. So Cash Patel has been confirmed by the Senate, as afforded by the Constitution, to come in and help right the ship of the FBI. And that's exactly what he's going to do, is going to turn that around. And the people who should have prosecuted Hillary Clinton for bashing her computer equipment that she had top secret material. And so they're going to come in and they're going to make sure that the FBI is restored to its original integrity. Again, I have nothing but respect for the FBI agents who are every day putting their life on the line.
What about those investigators?
Okay. If anyone has any other questions they'd like to write down, are those still questions? Okay, we have more of them. All right. Daniel S. Daniel, where's Daniel? I talked with you on the internet. Well, thank you for coming, and I appreciate your kind note saying that, for thanking me for having this. So, good, thank you. He says, Kansas City has 30,000 government employees. How many of them do you think should be fired without cause? What is reasonable about this harm to our local economy? Look, I think government employees make up the largest sector for hiring in Kansas City. Is that correct? Yeah. And I know that many of these jobs are very important to making our government function. But I also know, like in business, as I explained before, and it's happened at Fox 4, when you have a change of government in this case, but a change of ownership, and you're looking for waste, abuse, and fraud, and you're looking to cut, to trim down the size of government employees are going to be let go. And that's just the reality of it. And I feel bad that people have been laid off. I truly do. I understand that. Some of my good friends at Fox 4 were laid off during some of the time. My wife was laid off in the Federal Reserve. I get it. I understand it. But I do know that we've got to get...
You embody waste, fraud, and abuse.
Make it more efficient and more accountable and more transparent. And I think that's what President Trump's trying to do. You have a quick follow-up, but I can't hear you, Daniel. If you can convince all your friends to... Okay, so I can hear his question. Thank you.
Hey, so I want to let you know.
You got to go.
I want to let you know there's a legal and proper way to downsize.
That's right.
Guys. We're not... This is not a junior high cafeteria. Okay?
That's what he said in Georgia.
But number two, I know you know this already, but I'm going to tell you.
They almost have the same script.
Ask the and having me hold them while they cry does not make sense fiscally.
Again, Daniel, I appreciate your leadership there, and you're able to counsel and comfort some of these people who have been let go.
Will they let
I
go
know
because of fraud?
I know it's a hardship for families. I get that. The Biden administration, hired 87,000.
You're a broken record.
And so I think the feeling is, I think if you feel like you need more, then the next go around for president, you can elect a president who will get you more on the
Yeah, it will vote you out of office.
Sooner rather than later.
And Billy Long, I don't know if you heard of this. Billy, you know Billy Long? He is the former congressman from Springfield. And he is going to be the administrator, or he's been nominated to be the administrator of the IRS. And possibly the ERS, the External Revenue Service that Trump is going to set up to bring in the tariff money.
Trump didn't, Elon
Anyway,
did.
Dan,
Tariffs are going to drive prices up.
I'm not sure if I agree with you on that.
You don't agree
I've
with us
heard
on
both sides of
anything.
it, so-
Freedom,
You have any other
justice.
questions? Becky, are there other questions? All right, well, let me have those and I'll handle them. But Daniel, thank you. I appreciate you being civil and respectful.
Essential Plains CPAC.
All right, here's some with no names, but I got 10 minutes. So here we go. If you support no cuts to Medicaid, why did you vote for the 880D cut in the Representatives House proposed budget?
Yep.
Look,
Gaslight
there
us.
are some things in Medicaid. How you doing? Good to see you. There are some things in Medicaid that need to be reformed. I think prescription drug program. Your what?
Do it through Congress, not Elon.
Hey guys,
Do your job, Mark.
It's your job.
It is your job.
it's my job to listen to her, and I can't hear if you're yelling in the back, and I can't make sense what you're saying. So if you will be quiet, maybe I can hear her. Thank you.
How about you sit down and shut up?
Yes.
However, the proposed budget from the House of Representatives cuts $880 billion off Medicaid.
Have you seen
I have looked
the?
at
Okay, so we are voting on that tomorrow.
What's your vote?
why 100% of the House of Representatives vote in lockstep for those kinds of things. That's very different.
Because we're trying to save our nation.
No.
The 880 billion that we are voting to cut are not cuts, they're savings. We're talking about work requirements. We're talking about stripping the waste, abuse, and fraud out of the system. And this is keep in mind, when you hear a big number like that from,
There's no credibility on that waste.
when you hear a big number like that, that's over a 10-year period. That's how the OMB scores it.
You'll be
And so it's
gone.
880 million a year.
This is not billion under your eye.
Let's see, we got 6 minutes. What are U.S. benefits to finance Mars landing mission? Whose question is that? What's your name? Hey, Barbara. That's a very good question. Maybe some people want to get off this planet. Yeah, I don't know. Versus funding for health care for U.S. citizens. Versus funding for health care for U.S. citizens. You know, again, I'm going to be on the subcommittee I am for that oversees NASA. And so I'm going to be taking a closer look at these
Starlink?
programs. I was out at NASA in October and saw the Artemis rocket, and eventually these programs are going to be going to Mars. I don't really understand that issue well enough. It's something I need to bone up on.
We need to
On
send
why we feel like we need to go to Mars. But it's something that,
More money.
that some people think we need to do. So we will, maybe I'll ask Elon. I think I may see him tomorrow at the White House. So,
Oh, that's not going to be
all
credible.
right. What, very good handwriting here, by the way. What have you done to demonstrate that the legislative branch is equal part of the government?
Yeah.
Thank you. Very good handwriting. We need to return cursive to American schools.
Oh, okay.
We need to return morals to the Congress.
You know, I grew up watching
We need to
Schoolhouse
fund
Rock,
those schools.
and I thought it was very simple. You know, you pass a bill in the House, you pass one in the Senate, you come to conference committee, you decide what the bill should be, then it goes to the president for his or her signature.
Elon's.
As I said earlier, it's not that simple anymore, and it has got to be a problem Washington is dysfunctional to some degree, and I see it every day. Part of the problem is that the Republicans, we don't have a big enough majority to get things done. And so we're working during the midterms to make sure that we not only keep our majority, but we grow our majority so that we can get things done for the American people. And I know you guys are going to be supportive of that. Okay. Explain HR 2.
Yes, please do.
HR 2, the Secure Border Act. Safeguard American Voter Eligibility Act. Look, here's the deal.
You're not very in the know for
We have got to make sure, that only American citizens vote in our elections. Would you agree with that? Would you agree that there are some people who are not U.S. citizens who vote in some elections? Because we've seen in past elections where non-citizens, some in this state, but I don't see anything wrong in making sure that you have to show voter ID.
That is already in
as we do in
place.
Missouri. But you don't have to be a U.S. citizen to vote. And if you are a U.S. citizen to vote, there should be no reason not to be able to show that.
What's your maiden name, Mark? What's your maiden name, Mark?
Exactly, Mark.
What's your maiden name, Mark?
How's your wife gonna vote?
U.S. data
Mark?
in District 4 has approximately 13.5 Medicaid recipients. Whose question is this, Senator? Very detailed. Oh, thank you. Back to you. Very good. 14 Medicare recipients and 10% SNAP recipients. How do you justify $4 trillion debt ceiling while reducing benefits?
That's right.
Okay. So if we do not raise the debt ceiling, and I'll tell you right now, I'm not all in favor of raising the debt ceiling. I think we keep spending too much money. And I don't agree with Trump on everything, and this is one of them I don't necessarily agree with. But the plan is, if we don't raise, we should have done this before we came home for Christmas. We should have raised the debt ceiling. We should have gotten out of the continuing resolution and passed the budget. But we did not do that. And I was not in leadership. I'm not in a position to make that happen.
That's no excuse.
I was just at that time, a lowly freshman.
That's no excuse.
So we've got to make sure that we get out of our debt, and part of that $4 trillion debt ceiling, by raising that, it's going to allow the president to operate, for Congress to operate, because if we don't raise it, the Democrats are going to try to stymie us and stop us at everything. And with a 1-2 majority, we have got to be unified in our approach. And so, by raising the debt ceiling, that's going to be able to give a breathing room to our government, to our president, to be able to do the things he needs to do to restore our economy, keep it energized, return a lot of the offshore jobs, make us energy dominant again.
You're the one that sent the jobs offshore. That was Republican.
Okay, we got 2 minutes.
For something that's right. Use Elon's money that he supposedly signed.
All right, listen. I certainly, look guys, could I have your attention please?
Only if you're
Could I
resigning.
have your attention please? Class, look, I certainly appreciate everyone being here today. I still believe this is what democracy is all about. Even if you don't agree with me and I don't agree with you, you are able to come out and talk to the person who represents you in Congress. It is an honor of a lifetime to be able to do that, and I do not take it lightly. Again, we represent 772,047 individuals. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, politically agnostic. Our office is open for you.
Oh, we'll be there.
And we have caseworkers who have helped return more than $3 million already to constituents. I like to think of you as clients. We try to give concierge service to our district. So if you have a problem If you have a VA benefit issue, if you have disability issues,
We told you
benefits, if you have Social Security benefits, we are here to help you. Our caseworkers are here. If you have a problem, and I do want to say, if there's someone here who came out today who does have more of a private issue they want to talk about, please stick around and talk to our staff.
Why? You won't listen to them
Typically, this
either.
was not, typically I do sit down and maybe I'll have these face-to-face discussions. But I want to make sure that you know that we care about you and we're here to serve you. So God bless you. God bless Missouri. And God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.